Hello again, everybody. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. Now this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. Well, the lineup has been set for USA Wrestling National Team All-Star Dual Meet to be held at the 2011 NCAA Division I Championships in Philly, March 17th. Well, there are 7 matches in the duel. It opens with an exhibition bout between 2 top U.S. freestyle wrestlers, followed by a 6-match USA versus the World Dual Meet. The duel will be held on the competition mats in Wells Fargo Center between first and second sessions of the championships. The opening freestyle exhibition match features Americans Troy Nickerson and Daniel Dennis at 121 pounds. Nickerson was a 2009 NCAA champion and 4-time All-American for Cornell. Dennis was a 2-time All-American for Iowa. The opening bout in the USA versus the World Dual Meet is in Greco-Roman, pitting the 2005 world bronze medalist Justin Ruiz of the U.S. against 2006 world champion Mohamed Abdul Fattah of Egypt. Ruiz was a 2-time All-American for the University of Nebraska. The first freestyle match is at 132 pounds, featuring Derek Moore of the U.S. against Franklin Gomez of Puerto Rico. Moore was the 2007 NCAA champion for UC Davis. Gomez was the 2009 NCAA champion and 3-time All-American for Michigan State. The 163-pound freestyle bout will feature Ryan Morningstar of the U.S. against Musafar Abdurrahmanov of Uzbekistan. Morningstar was a 2-time All-American for the University of Iowa, and Abdurrahmanov was an All-American for American University in D.C., 2006. At 185 pounds, Keith Gavin of the U.S. battles Jaime Espinal of Puerto Rico. Gavin was a 2008 NCAA champion and 2-time All-American for Pittsburgh. Now the match at 211 pounds showcases Win Mahalik of the United States against Israel Silva of Mexico. Mahalik was a 3-time All-American for Central Michigan, while Silva was an NCAA qualifier for UT Chattanooga. The final featured bout will be at 145 pounds with Brent Metcalf of the U.S. facing Heinrich Barnes of South Africa. Barnes placed 7th at the 2010 World Championships and has competed in 3 senior World Championships to date. Metcalf was a member of the 2010 U.S. World Team, a 2-time NCAA champion, and a 3-time NCAA finalist for Iowa. Barnes was an All-American for Oregon State in 2009. The dual meet is free of charge, and NCAA fans will not have to leave their seats to enjoy the action.
So to have it inside the venue in Philadelphia right after the first session on Thursday, I think is a great opportunity to showcase freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling to predominantly folk-style fans.
And I think that they've done a good job of getting some collegiate guys who've been popular in the past, in recent NCAA tournaments, and bringing them to the fans. And I think it's super important to be able to put on a show for these people and show them, what we're all about after college is over. I know that a lot of people they fight you throughout your college career, and now you're able to go out there and put on a display, show them what you're doing now, and it's definitely a great opportunity, and hopefully it goes out well.
What are you looking for? I'm looking forward to it. He got me in New York. I wasn't wrestling too well then, but I've made a lot of improvements since then, and it's a great opportunity to wrestle another foreigner that I might end up seeing in the World Championship someday. So I'm excited.
Shane Sparks will call the action on themat.com. It'll be held approximately 2:30 Eastern on Thursday. You can visit themat.com for more information or to watch the action.
Wrestling fans, USA Wrestling has launched a top social networking site designed for you. USA Wrestling Nation is the latest innovation provided to the wrestling community by our sports national governing body, USA Wrestling. Post photos, blogs, and videos, interact on boards. Keep up with your favorite wrestling personalities with USA Wrestling Nation. It's free to register. Join the thousands of wrestling fans that have already signed up and become a part of the USA Wrestling Nation at usawrestlingnation.com.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
USA Wrestling's communications team will be on hand in Philadelphia this week to bring complete coverage from the NCAA Division I Wrestling Championships beginning Thursday through Saturday night. Now here's a preview of the 2011 NCAA Championships.
Jason Bryan here with you along with Andy Hamilton from the Iowa City Press-Citizen. Going to give you a quick rundown of what we expect from maybe the top 5-6 teams from this weekend's NCAA Division I tournament. Penn State, Andy, looking at the seeds, points if they wrestle this season, looks like they have the advantage, but if we've learned anything about Iowa this year, you can't count them out, and you probably know them better than anybody.
They've certainly come a long way since December 30th. I think, walking out of Midlands, I've said this a couple times, but that's the day that Ed Ruth beats Lunas. Alton takes Kellen Russell down to the wire. David Taylor basically destroys everybody at the Southern Scuffle, and looks like Penn State's on their way. And Iowa, meanwhile, goes I think loses 8 consecutive matches at the Midlands, and at that point, I'm thinking they're probably 40 points behind Penn State, but they've made up a lot of ground in the last 2 months.
Yeah, you talk about the Southern Scuffle. That's where really Penn State emerged this year as a real threat. Most people were thinking a year, 2 years down the line, not 3 months down the line. Cornell came in as the consensus #1 this year. Tied Penn State at the Scuffle. They're going to have to wrestle above their seeds. They've got their horses, but they're going to have to get guys that are the 8s and unseeded guys to score points for them to be a threat.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're certainly capable. There's a lot of firepower at the upper weights for Cornell, but indeed, on paper, it looks like that they're maybe a step behind right now. I did the bracket 3 times, or 3 different scenarios.
I just got one.
Came up
with a bunch of notes and matches circled like that could screw the bracket up and things of that nature.
There are a lot of things that could screw the team race up. I ran it 3 times, 3 different scenarios, and had Iowa winning 1, Penn State winning 1, and Oklahoma State winning 1. So actually that probably makes Cornell the team that's going to walk away with it.
Yeah, unless you jinxed them. So as far as Oklahoma State goes, John Smith said they've overachieved all year, but when it comes down to this tournament, they're the program that's won more national titles than any other school. What are the Cowboys do you think are going to have to do to win this thing?
I think they need a guy like Chris Perry. They have a big tournament, which he's certainly capable of. Jamal Parks, another guy on the top side of that bracket.
He really needs
49.
to pick it up, yeah.
A guy that could be there in the finals Saturday night. They've got the horses where they could put 4 guys in the finals, I think. But they have some tough draws in other places where they need to keep guys in the tournament as long as possible.
Do you think having Elan Galagayev in the lineup this year after that shoulder injury, if he came back, do you think that would be kind of the X factor to get them over the hump?
I don't know. I think that they have enough guys to do it as is if they get Parks and Perry to come through and get those 2 guys to go with a guy like Oliver and Foster, who I think are going to be deep into the tournament.
John Morrison back on track.
Yeah, I think they've got enough guys that if they wrestle well, I think that Oklahoma State could get it done without Galagayev. But that's certainly a guy that an All-American last year, a guy that's dangerous, that can score pins. That would have been a big boost for Oklahoma State. It's a big loss not having him. 2
other teams that were in the mix at the beginning of the season: Minnesota, Boise State. Where do you see them?
I think they're on the fringe of the top 5 right there, maybe competing for the 5th spot behind the 4 teams that we've mentioned a lot. Boise State not having Kirk Smith at the top of the bracket, I think that's a guy that could get them closer to a top 3 finish. But they've got guys like Hochstrasser, Hall, plenty of guys that could be there Saturday night where they can, I think, crack the top 5.
So team-wise, you said you've run 3 different scenarios. I've got it: Penn State, Cornell, Iowa, I believe. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at my picks. It's one of, well, anyway, Penn State's the one with a lot of room, a lot of wiggle room. If some of their seeds don't perform up or they don't overperform, they've still got a lot of room for error and still win this thing.
They could, yeah, they could slip a little bit and still get it done. They've got guys that can go a long way on the front side of the bracket. But, again, though, I mean, a guy like Quentin Wright that comes through and wins the Big Ten tournament for him, he's got a tough draw being the 9 seed. He's going to possibly run into Steinhaus again in a match that it was really close in the Big Ten. It comes down another second, maybe Steinhaus pulls that out. That's a guy I think that's, you talk about X Factor guys for Oklahoma State not having Galagayev. I think, as we mentioned, Perry's kind of an X Factor guy for them. I think Quentin Wright is that guy for Penn State.
As far as the team-wise goes, what do you think is going to have to happen for any of these teams? What's the biggest thing for Cornell they need to win? Mac Lunas obviously needs to win a championship. Cam Simez, where are their X Factors?
I think Gray. I think Mike Gray, a guy that's been here a lot and won some matches at this tournament. A guy that's certainly capable of getting up there in the top 5 at 33. I think that would be a big boost for Cornell. Who knows what they're going to get out of Kerber after the way EIWA's ended for him. That's another guy. I think it's going to take those secondary guys, the guys that aren't seeded in the top 3. It's going to take multiple guys getting on the stand for Cornell to be in contention.
Of all 3 scenarios, which one are you going for? Who's winning it?
I think in the end I picked Oklahoma State. I think 4 potential finalists.
A lot of tournament points.
Yeah, I think I ended up picking 3 guys from Oklahoma State to reach the finals, which I think would be huge for them. But again, I think this shapes up to be the best team race maybe since '88 when there were 4 teams.
I was 9.
I think there were 4 teams separated by 12.5 points then, and we haven't seen a team race like that since. I think this could be the year. And again, we haven't seen a team outside of Iowa, Minnesota, Oklahoma State to win a title since then, and maybe this is the year for that too.
Well, we'll find out here in Philadelphia this weekend at the NCAA Division I Wrestling Championships.
Before weapons of mass destruction, we struggled hand to hand. Before we fought from a distance, our battles were up close and personal. Join us April 7th to 10th in Cleveland, Ohio, when the world's oldest combat gets new again at the 2011 ASICS US Open. Brought to you by ASICS, the official sponsor of USA Wrestling's national teams. Reserve your tickets now.
Led by 3 seniors who became individual champions, the University of Nebraska-Omaha won its 3rd straight NCAA Division II national team title. Mario Morgan at 141 pounds, Ryan Pankow at 174, and Aaron Denson at 184 pounds completed their Maverick careers as national champions before a packed house of some 3,000 fans at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Morgan, second last year, was dominant in a 12-5 win over Nebraska Kearney's Dalton Jensen in the finals. Pankow, third last year at 165, downed Luke Reinisch of Wisconsin Parkside 3-2 in the finals there. Denson, second in the 2009 Nationals, held off Western State's Charlie Pfeiffer 6-4 in the final bout there. UNO coach Mike Denny's team won its 6th national title in the past 8 years and his 7th career national team title overall. St. Cloud State finished in second, 12 points behind UNO, and led by individual champion John Sundgren at 57. Sundgren was the Huskies' first national champion since 1995. St. Cloud State's Steve Costanzo was named the Coach of the Year. The Huskies' second-place finish was the best in that school history. Augustana placed 3rd, Upper Iowa was 4th, and Western State placed 5th. Western State's Donovan McMahill repeated as champion at 97 and was named the event's outstanding wrestler. 3 wrestlers, Grand Canyon's Todd Wilcox, Indianapolis's Nick Walpole, and Northern State's Matthew Moliners won the first Division II titles in their schools' histories. We talked with some of the NCAA Division II national champions.
Just as good as the first time, Just put a lot of time and hard work, and You know, a lot of sweat and a lot of pain is just, that's what it's all about, coming out on top.
First off, it's the first time I've heard my name. It's National Champs. That sounds really good. But no, it's just awesome. It's a dream come true. Can't even find the words to describe how good I feel right now.
And I learned my mistake from last year of not really preparing for the finals. And came out prepared this time with a game plan.
On the night which Nebraska Omaha's wrestling program celebrated its third straight NCAA Division II national title, Athletic Director Trev Alberts and President John Christensen announced a shocking plan to drop UNO's wrestling and football teams as an athletic department moves to Division I and seeks to join the Summit League. Well, the reason given was that the Summit League does not sponsor either wrestling or football. Well, the wrestling team heard about this just hours after winning their national team title and hoisting the NCAA trophy. This decision has caused a huge controversy on the UNO campus in Omaha and within the wrestling community nationwide. Supporters of the UNO wrestling program have begun to fight this decision and save the program. Les Sigmund, a four-time NCAA Division II national champ at UNO and Team USA member, has made a call to action asking people to notify UNO of their opposition to this decision. Brad Veering, a Nebraska native and two-time wrestling Olympian, has called on UNO to reinstate the team. Opposition to the decision is coming from across the country. UNO coach Mike Denny joined us to talk about the important decision.
That's kind of where he dropped the bomb, you know. So then, after that, I had to go down and bring those guys back together and tell them that the program had been dropped. You know?
We'll bring you updates on this story as it develops. Well, at press time, the University of North Carolina Greensboro announced that it too would be dropping its Division I wrestling program. UNC Greensboro competes in the Southern Conference and has been coached by Jason Lukitas. This is the third college wrestling program dropped in a week, with the University of Sioux Falls and NEI school transitioning to NCAA Division II. It also has plans to drop its wrestling program. Led by 7 All-Americans and 2 champions, Wartburg won its 8th NCAA Division III national championship, outdistancing second-place Augsburg by 28.5 points. Wartburg's top seeds Byron Tate and John Helgerson captured individual championships. Tate beat past champion Jared Massey of Augsburg in the finals at 97 for his second national title. Helgerson, a 3-time All-American, captured his first championship, edging past runner-up and previously unbeaten Mark Corsello of Elmhurst 3-1. Bradley Banks placed second at 174 pounds, losing to Zach Molitor of Augsburg in the finals. Molitor was Augsburg's only champion this year. UW La Crosse placed third. Ithaca was fourth, and Co finished fifth in the competition. St. John senior Minga Basuk became just the 11th 3-time NCAA Division III champion, topping Tony Valek of Augsburg 7-4 in the finals at 49. Basuk was named the most outstanding wrestler of the event. Returning champion Bebeto Yewa of UW La Crosse earned a second title, this time at 41 pounds, besting Ithaca's Jeremy Steyerly 4-3 in the championship round. Also winning a second championship was Clayton Rush of Co, the champion at 125 pounds, and Concordia's Phil McKendrick, the 184-pound title holder. Marty Nichols of Ithaca was named NWCA National Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Marty. California Baptist, led by 2 national champions and 2 runners-up, claimed the NCAA national team title in Macon, Georgia. The Lancers had 9 NCAA All-Americans. Cal Baptist champions were Chris Santana at 57 and Caleb Girl at 197 pounds. Santana defeated Ryan Madsen of MIT in the finals, while Girl stopped Richard Rippey of Central Florida for the title. Cal Baptist is making a transition into the NCAA Division II and is competing in the NCAA in the interim. Grand Valley State led the first 3 sessions and finished second, 35.5 points behind Cal Baptist. Winning an individual title was Corey Melnon at 285 pounds. Grand Valley won 3 NCAA titles from 2006 to 2008. Central Florida, the defending NCAA champion, placed third with 99.5 points, edging Southern Illinois Edwardsville by a half a point. Nice and tight there. Joshua Woods of Central Florida won the national title at 235 pounds, giving UCF the edge. SIU Edwardsville had 2 individual champs, Herman Gillum at 125 and Mike Dace at 174 pounds. Northwest Missouri State won the NCAA Division II club standings with 45 points. This week we profile Olympic bronze medalist and 2-time Greco-Roman Olympian Garrett Lowney in our Wrestling Greats segment. Lowney was one of the youngest athletes to ever win a medal for the U.S. at the Olympics. He was a star high school wrestler from Wisconsin, winning 3 state titles and 5 junior national titles, going on to compete at the University of Minnesota. Garrett took a redshirt year and won the 1999 Junior World title in Greco-Roman. The next year, he took an Olympic redshirt year to pursue a spot on the U.S. Olympic team at 213 pounds. He had a great season, placing second at the U.S. Nationals, and then went on to defeat 1996 Olympian Jason Gleesman in the finals at the U.S. Olympic team trial. He was a relative unknown at the 2000 Sydney Olympic Games and shocked the world when he tossed five-time world champion Goji Koguchvili of Russia with a 5-point throw in overtime for a stunning upset victory. Although injured in the semifinals, Lowney battled back to win the Olympic bronze medal over Konstantinos Thanos of Greece. Lowney was 20 years old when he won his medal and had still not competed in a varsity match in college. He did go on to wrestle collegiately for the Gophers of the University of Minnesota, winning NCAA team titles in 2001 and 2002. He earned All-American honors twice, placing third and fifth. His college career was limited by a series of injuries. He did continue to compete in Greco-Roman, qualifying for 3 U.S. World Teams, but competing in just 1 World Championships. In 2004, he made one more run at making a U.S. Olympic team. He placed second at the U.S. Nationals, then won the Olympic team trials, beating national champion Justin Ruiz in the finals. His final competition came at the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens, Greece, falling short of the medal rounds. He retired from competition the next season and has since pursued a business career. You can download action video and top-level technique of wrestling legends and more with our friends at thewrestlinggreats.com. Stay tuned, there's more USA Wrestling Weekly when we continue.
Excellence like this takes a lifetime to achieve. So when athletes you've been watching all your life reach for world levels of competition, why not spend some quality time and just enjoy the show? Don't miss the 2011 U.S. World Team Trials, June 9th through 11th in Oklahoma City. Brought to you by ASICS, the official sponsor of USA Wrestling's national teams. Reserve your tickets now.
Two U.S. wrestlers won medals during the Petko Surikov Ivan Ilyev Junior International in Varna, Bulgaria over the weekend. Winning a gold medal in Greco-Roman was Alice Coleman at 145.5 pounds. Coleman, a 2010 junior world bronze medalist, won 4 bouts during the day. He opened with wins over David Kaskavia of Italy and Dugan Gaxis of Turkey. Coleman is a U.S. Olympic Training Center resident athlete, and it was the second week in a row the young man has won an international event on the FILA junior level after capturing the Austrian Junior Greco-Roman Open last weekend.
I was real hyped up and ready to wrestle for this tournament because I've been out for about 4.5 months, 5 months, so I was real excited and ready to get back into competition.
Winning a silver medal was high school star Tanner Hall of Idaho at 211 pounds, who fell in the finals to Iranian Hamad Talibi. Hall won 2 bouts to reach the final, stopping 2010 European cadet silver medalist Zaid Delyever of Bulgaria, as well as Evtim Evtimov of Bulgaria. Placing 5th in men's freestyle were U.S. Olympic Training Center resident athletes Carson Kuhn at 121 pounds and Derek Garcia at 163. Kuhn was a 2010 Junior Nationals champion and will attend Boise State next year. Garcia was a 2009 Junior Nationals champion and will attend Ohio State next year. Placing 5th in Greco-Roman was U.S. Olympic Education Center athlete Mark Stenberg at 185 pounds. Stenberg opened with 2 strong wins before dropping a semifinal bout. He was beaten in a very close bronze medal match by Bulgarian Nikolay Debrov. After 10 years as an impressive offensive guard for the New England Patriots, World Freestyle Wrestling champion Stephen Neals has announced his retirement from the NFL. Neal won championships at both the 1999 World and Pan American Games. He was also a U.S. Nationals champion and a runner-up at the 2000 U.S. Olympic team trials. In college, he was a 2-time NCAA champion, 4-time All-American at Cal State Bakersfield, winning the 1999 Dan Hodge Trophy as the nation's top collegiate athlete. Neal led the effort to save the program at his alma mater recently and was honorary captain of the Big Ten Big 12 dual meet at the 2010 NCAA championships. He's also helped coach Cal State Bakersfield wrestlers. Neal won 3 Super Bowl rings competing for the Pats, and the amazing thing is that he didn't even play collegiate football. Neal signed with the Patriots as a rookie free agent in 2001, and after time on the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad, he signed to New England's active roster later that year. He earned his first start in his second NFL game on October 13th of 2002 versus Green Bay. After missing the 2003 season with injury, he returned in 2004 as the starting right guard, a position he held for some 92 games over the next 7 years. In 2007, he helped power an offense that set all-time NFL records with 589 points, 75 touchdowns, contributing to the first 16-0 regular season since the league expanded to a 16-game schedule in 1978. Stephen Neal started 81 of the 86 career regular season games he played in. He also started 12 postseason games for the Patriots. Last season, Neal started the first 8 games of the season before being placed on the injured reserve with a shoulder injury. Well, as always, we thank you for joining us. We'll see you all right here next week on USA Wrestling Weekly. Have a good one, everybody.